Your Denver Broncos just proved that they are not done yet, so get off of Twitter and stop all of the doom and gloom because your Denver Broncos very much are still about to make a deep run in the playoffs. We get some great news across the NFL. We have injuries against teams we're about to play. We have other teams who we thought were going to run away with playoff spots that are sitting at 1 and 2, and it is time to pump the brakes. Advanced analytics pointing to the fact that your Denver Broncos are actually very good. We're breaking that down and more in this video. If you're new to the channel, smash that like and subscribe button if you still Bo-LIEVE in the Denver Broncos. So here's the deal, you guys. The Denver Broncos started off their season on the road against two teams who are favorites to win their division right now. Two teams who are favorites to make the playoffs and favorites to make runs into the AFC Championship game, okay? So we're looking here at this awesome compilation here on EPA per play, and it's basically evaluating how a defense does against the run and against the pass. And so if you are good against both things, you are in the green. Awesome to see that our Denver Broncos defense is good at both at defending the pass and defending the run. If you are bad at both things, you are down here in the red. If you are bad against the pass, good against the run, you're here. And if you are bad against the run, good against the pass, you are up here. So Bo Nix has had two games that we didn't feel like were MVP level games. Well, you are seeing both the Colts and the Chargers being extremely good against the pass right here. Now, the good news is we're not playing the Colts and the Chargers again until obviously week number 11 for the Broncos. And so you look at all of our upcoming opponents seem like they're back down here in this quadrant of being bad at both things. So you're seeing, oh, we get to go play the Jets, who just lost one of their star players and put them on IR for the year on defense. Oh, we get to play against the Giants and a rookie quarterback. Oh, we get to play against the Dallas Cowboys. So this is the fantastic news. And we get to bounce back right now on Monday Night Football against a team that is bad at both things in the Cincinnati Bengals. And so I love this point here by Zach Stevens that you are looking at two teams that we just lost to, that we were leading the entire fourth quarter against them, and we lost on walk-off field goals by 1 point and then by 3 points. Those teams are 6-0. One of those teams has only punted the ball one time. Absolutely wild. The other team has Derwin James, who a lot of people are saying is going to be the defensive player of the year this year. And then you're hearing both Herbert and Daniel Jones. Their odds are climbing for MVP of the entire league. So do not lose heart. We played some phenomenal teams and we played them tough. And we know that Sean Payton is the master at changing what he does. And that's why he peaks in the month of October, November, December, because he is not like a great first punch coach. He is great at seeing what your defense is throwing out there. When you have enough film, he's got a checkmate for you. He is now moving into that zone where he has enough to figure this out, and I just trust him in that way. Other thing is, like, we're hearing a lot of people saying that, like, oh, we're not going to be good because Riley Moss isn't good. And I love Luka Evans, Denver Post, coming and having his back here, pulling out this awesome stat that, like, when you have Pat Surtain, who's one of the best defensive players in the league, you have no choice but to pick on him, and even though they are picking on him, they still are throwing 48% completion percentage on him. So, like, that is a great stat to me, that he is not nearly as bad as folks are throwing him under the bus and saying he's going to be. Go back and watch the plays he got beat in that Los Angeles Chargers game. He seemed to be in the exact same spot, and we're talking inches away. Now, here's the other thing, that as I take a look at other fan bases, I see zero panic from the Kansas City Chiefs, even though they're 1-2 and one of their losses was a home loss. I see zero panic amongst the Baltimore Ravens, even though they're also 1-2 and another one of their losses was a home loss. Your Denver Broncos are 1-2. And they were winning the entire fourth quarters. They played two AFC opponents on the road. I'm going to get off my soapbox. Let's look at some more advanced analytics on why you can Bo-LIEVE. This team is going to bounce back, and they're about to go on a crazy run right now. Definitely starting that off on Monday Night Football. So the first one here is PFF has ranked their best edge rushers when it comes to what percentage of the time are they beating the tackle trying to block them. And the Denver Broncos are the only team on this list who have not one, but two guys in the top 10 of the NFL. So this is phenomenal that we're seeing Jonathon Cooper and Nick Bonito are just a dynamic duo. We're talking Batman and Robin, and they each like bump each other. Like, these guys are wickedly good. So you chip one of them and you got to mess around, and the other one is coming. And then on top of that, when those guys go out, who comes in? Yeah, we're talking Jonah Elliss, a guy who probably would be starting on most other defenses in the league. Second-year player. We know he had 5 sacks last year as a rookie. And even though he is not playing on that many snaps, so he doesn't have a time to like set up his moves because he's coming in different spells, he is still a 17.5% pass rush win rate on that. So you were talking, the Denver Broncos have 3 guys in the top 20 when it comes to pass rush win rate. And when your edge rushers aren't doing it, we got Zach Allen on the middle and DJ Jones, and we know that after next week, Malcolm Roach is coming back in that mix. So our front four, our front seven are going to be in phenomenal situation. I've just gone back and watched a ton of clips of Jonah Elliss. Obviously, that special teams punch out changed a ton of momentum, and then just seeing you look at a guy who outweighs him in Pipkins here, and you just see him dog walk him back into Justin Herbert and force the throw to be out on, much faster. So I just think we're just starting to scratch the surface on what Jonah Elliss can be. I love the idea about getting him in some sort of NASCAR package. If you get a team in 3rd and long, could you have him, Cooper, and Benito all out at one single time like that? We are in a phenomenal situation there. Also just seeing some more love on Twitter here for just how great of a season Jonathon Cooper has had. A lot of times it's easy to be overshadowed by Nick Benito, who just had some moves where he's in the backfield, as the ball's getting there, it reminds you of Von Miller. But we're seeing a guy who's tied for 6th when it comes to pressuring the quarterback. He's got one of the fastest get-offs in the NFL, 2 sacks and 1 turnover caused by his quarterback pressure. So our defense is going to be fine, and I love the fact that we're playing against offenses here that don't scare me as much as either of these last 2 offenses that we've played. Are you more scared of Justin Herbert and Ladd McConkey and the running backs that they had, or a backup quarterback in Jake Browning? I'm even more scared of the Chargers than I am of the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm more scared of the Colts offense than I am the Philadelphia Eagles. We know that Jonathan Taylor himself has more rushing yards than most teams in the NFL total. It's crazy how good those teams are, and we cannot let our mood and our hope for the Broncos be set on the fact that we've dropped 2 last-second walk-off games to really, really good teams. Just seeing all I heard all weekend was how we're not going to get any pressure on Justin Herbert. All that Harbaugh does is load up that offensive line with talent. We got Mekhi Becton. He weighs more than 3 of your edge rushers combined, and we still see that the highest rate of pressure he's ever faced in his career was against your Denver Broncos on Sunday. We trust that Bo Nix is going to get the hang of this thing, and that offense is going to peak, not because I believe it, but because you listen to all of his team and what they believe. I think another thing, coming up here that's exciting is the fact that obviously we know the Bengals are without their star player in Herbert, but we know then just a couple weeks after that, we have to go to London for a super early game, and you get Sean Payton playing a rookie head coach, and now they are losing one of their best defensive players as well, so you're not scared about that game whatsoever either. Then knowing that the Giants are coming to town, that was a game we all were super hyped about. Well, the Broncos kind of got robbed because that will not be Russell Wilson's return to Denver. Instead, the Giants have replaced him with Jackson Dart, so we will not get to finally get our final revenge on Russell Wilson. But man, just what happens when you believe in Sean Payton? What he does ends up being the right move. He was almost run out of town here when he got rid of Russell Wilson, and we said, how are we ever going to get out of that dead cap hit? And are we sure Russell Wilson's done? Is there anything else you can do? And now you've seen the Pittsburgh Steelers try to work him in, even when they didn't have to pay him anything and could surround him with talent. He's out in just, 11 games there with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He doesn't even make it 3 games with the New York Giants, despite having a tremendous team around him with Malik Neighbors and a lot of skilled weapons there. So Sean Payton is right. So we can just believe that he was right this offseason when he said Bo Nix eventually in these next 2 years is going to be a top 5 quarterback. And just look at, we've played some really, really good pass defenses over these past couple weeks. And then the one thing here that has given me just a little bit of pause here is the fact that the Denver Broncos supposedly dominated this NFL draft this year. We saw all of the pieces that Sean Payton collected last season start to ring true. In obviously Jonah Elliss, we saw Chris Abrams' dream pick off Herbert a couple seasons ago. We saw Bo Nix flash. We saw Troy Franklin flash. We saw Marvin Mims. We've seen Sean Payton draft picks pan out. I am very perplexed at how little our draft class from last season, which Sean said he felt better about than most of the draft classes he's evaluated. Why have we seen so little of Pat Bryant? Why have we seen so little of RJ Harvey? Why have we not seen Q Robinson or Savion Jones at all? So I would love to start seeing how can the Broncos add some of these pieces that we drafted that Sean was tremendously high on, just because we've seen the record of George Payton and Sean Payton. So that's one area that I would love to see the Broncos improve on. And then lastly, one of the reasons that I think there's a ton of things that we can believe in is that one of the things that really stopped our offense from getting going last week was just a middle of the field that Bo Nix just could not get working. Like, we had Lucas Krull in there. We know who he is. Bo Nix needs a middle of the field target. So I think that is either Pat Bryant, or I am hoping that we start to hear that Evan Ingram is coming back from that injury and ready to come back, because when you have that middle of the field option, I think that opens up a ton for the Sean Payton playbook. So let me know in the comments, are you still on this bandwagon? Do you still Bo-LIEVE? Because you know what? I still Bo-LIEVE. Oh.